called the Greenening. The first game of Indiecember today. It's very chill. It's incredibly chill. It's a weird blob man, dude. Alright, so let's get into it. Whoa. A planet covered in ashes, most likely caused by a great calamity in the past. Let's explore it together. Okay, this is a little bit haunted. We're able to synthesize some of its main element, called water, into this handy cloud here to help us wash away the ashes. This has a little bit of cosmic horror and a little bit of Katamari Damacy at the same time already. Let's see if there's anything left underneath and gain more knowledge about this world. I'm Sparkle, by the way, a sentient probe for acquiring remote knowledge and learning. Wait. Does that stand for anything? Didn't look like it did. I'll be your guide and companion along this mission. Nice to meet you. Now let's get started. Click to initiate the automatic release of water upon the surface. Okay, that's really cool. What is that? You found something awesome. We can gain a lot of knowledge from analyzing this. Okay, so we have a limited amount of water and then we want to get as much green as possible. Oh no, we ran out of water. Lucky for us, though, we can always synthesize more. But I don't have the means to do that here on the surface, so let's return tomorrow. In the meantime, let's check if our gathered knowledge can help us increase our water capacity for next time. The cloud can hold more water. Whoa, okay. What happened here? Everything is covered in ashes again. That's not very nice. Or did we just land in a different location? Exact navigation is tricky here, due to the dire state of the planet. Either way, let's try to uncover as much as possible. I feel we might be able to reach a tipping point if we give it our best. So it's a discovery system. And the idea is to try to uncover objects. 20% larger drops? Yeah. Larger. It looks like some areas are worth more than other areas. Wait. I found a log. I actually really like this. It's just kind of chill. It's on a timer, by the way. This should help us avoid starting from scratch every time we return. There we go. And now we can do start with some ashes fully removed. Because we got that. Larger? More. Oh, look at that. It actually created a radius. I bet we can uncover all of it. Like, pretty easily, actually. We got another one of those. Nice. This is a really interesting gameplay loop, to be honest with you. Like, it's a really interesting gameplay loop. It's very simplistic, but in... I don't know, kind of a nice... kind of... I don't know. Like, in a very... calming sort of way? It's hard to describe. It's just kind of like a relic from days long gone. Super cool. We can learn a lot from this. I've added it to our collection. Okay, so now we get collections. Yeah, it's just kind of like a really simple mechanic that just feels nice. And it's an incremental, but it's done in a way that feels different, I guess, from other ones. A lot of the times you're trying to, like, fight something or do a bunch of damage or whatever, right? Yeah, kind of zen. Yeah. What just happened? Seems like we managed to revitalize enough of this land to kickstart its own healing process. Incredible. There's many more areas for us to explore. Let's come on. Can't wait to see them all in beautiful green. It's also kind of like a little bit haunted. I don't know why it feels a little bit haunted, but it does. Somehow. You know? The ashes are thicker here. I also detect traces of life. Let's do this. Oh, okay. So we have to try harder now. Nice. We got a plant. We can use this excess biomass to start our own cozy little garden. What do you mean excess biomass? Horrifying. Here we can grow our own plants from gathered biomass. Try growing some of the grass now. Yeah, no, it's just Zen. That's what it is. These plants give off a lot of energy. We can use that to improve our watering efforts. Yeah. No, that's nice. And we have a collection where we found this item. It is very Katamari Damacy and just sort of a Zen environment. No, I'm out of water! Would've gotten the plant. We get another plant. And now we get 12 power per minute? I don't know what those do just yet. What is this? Regenerate water every 10 seconds. Drops remove thicker ashes. That uses power to do that. Okay. So power is now a way to do upgrades. Briefly increases drop impact after discovering something. Water regeneration is kind of huge. Yeah. Yeah, another Nodebuster-style incremental game. As a fan of the genre, there's been a huge number of games in this design. It's turned you off to the subgenre. A huge number of games turns you off to a genre that you enjoy? That doesn't quite make sense to me. Like, I like that kind of game, and the idea of having more inside of it is very cool. And this doesn't feel like it really normally other incremental games that I've played. So I'm wondering why you would be upset about that. Because for me, it's like, if I like a genre, I like the genre, and I like seeing different people's take on that genre. You know what I mean? I don't know, more games, dude. There we go. Let's go to the garden. Oh, I'm out of plant. More plants. Yeah, exactly. I like this. It's taken the addictive elements of Cookie Clicker and made them to something chill. Yeah, exactly. It's something just kind of chill and zen, which is interesting. The cloud can hold more water. +3 capacity. I guess we could do it that way. But more regeneration seems like it'd be better, right? Let's do more initial green. Find what's hidden. A detector if we find screws. It's kind of interesting. We're making more energy now. Do I want regeneration? Or more? I think regeneration. We'll do that. Oh, we immediately got points on this one. It's kind of neat because it's like a seek discovery, you know, sort of a thing. And that's not what I'm used to a lot of the times. Like, a lot of these types of games aren't really about discovery, they're about destruction, right? I'm also interested in the story. Kind of reminds me of, there's an incremental game that I really enjoyed that was very simplistic in its loop, but it was all about potatoes. It's called Space Plan. I loved Space Plan. Space Plan is hilarious. Larger size. Let's go that way. Oh, I forgot to use my plants. Yeah, Space Plan was really, really good for that. And it's just fun, you know? Relaxing bedtime story with cute illustrations. Alright, we got another collectible. There we go. Space Plan is so great. It is. Yeah, no, Space Plan is super good. And this feels, at least to me, it feels very similar in the way that its gameplay loop is just kind of chill. There's no enemy. You're not fighting something. You're just kind of growing, right? Discovery. More powerful impact. Plus 200%. Every fourth drop is larger. More capacity. Not in the demo. Fall speed. That's interesting. Your enemy is time. Fair. Okay, now I do enough damage that I'm able to cut through these ashes instantly. It seems like there's a little bit variance in size. In terms of, like, how large the droplet is when it hits. You guys are goblins. Alright, we'll go to the garden now. Oh, I don't have enough. I wonder how big this can get. Like how absurd that goes. I actually want to go back to the garden and look at the collection. Okay, we have 2 items. More. And I guess every 4th drop being bigger? That seems fun. We'll try that. Useful ancient tech here. Okay, we're back to... new plant. That was a +4 green on that one. What? Okay. It's kind of interesting. So that's how we get screws. We have to hit the machine. I kind of like that. It's really interesting, actually. Yeah. Water the pink guy? You know, that's not a bad idea. Oh, wait a minute. What does that do? Oh, that gives a lot of energy. It gives a huge amount of energy. So we can have flowers, we can have grass. What is this? Briefly increased drop impact after discovering something. Or removes thicker ashes. Find what's hidden. We now have a detector at level 1. Detector range, sprinkler. Spreads water automatically. That's interesting. Yeah, killing the drones is quite cool. I like that. It has a detector going in this direction. So it just has like a brief beam that shows that there's an invisible object in that direction. Kind of like that. Gone. Into the garden. I really like how this is just expanding out with like a ton of new stuff. Yeah, it's just nice, chill music, man. It really is, actually. We need more points. I need more learning. What is this one? Green learning. Gain more knowledge from removing ashes. Gain more knowledge overall. And that needs a bunch of screws. This needs energy. And this needs knowledge. There we go. Oh, wait, we can just... Oh, that's cool. You can move everything around. So you have it built in any way that you actually want it to. You can even add in, like, the logs and the rocks that you found. That's really nice. It's just kind of sweet, you know what I mean? And you can hit R to fully randomize it. Yeah, I dig that. It's a nice system. What's the TTB on moving the items around? Less than a second. Yeah, more regeneration. Yeah, I really dig this, dude. Now we have that full. Is that a bicycle? Holy shit. It is a bicycle. Device to move faster and have a lot of fun while doing so. Impressively inventive. Oh, what is this? A higher level of grass? So we have grass and then grass power. Increases grass production. Grow more grass, increases grass production. Does make all grass be stronger? That's what it looks like. So instead of getting more, we just make them more powerful. Motivated impact. That's cool. What is this? Motivate impact duration. Interesting. Larger drops instantly. Yeah, that's great. The combo. But better to drop your water on the ashes all around us than to waste it on me. I think what was happening is because it started off with so many that were already unlocked, I ended up getting a whole bunch of, like, super-powered hits in a row. That's what it felt like, anyway. It's kind of interesting. Because I think Motivated Impact went off 4 times, is what it sounded like. I'm not sure. It seemed to be quite good. More knowledge. More! What is that one? Fall speed. Yeah, we're just gonna do more. More everything. I think we got it. The greenening has occurred. Yeah, the idea is to chain them as quickly as possible. Calm down, Zinj. No, I need knowledge. I need more. Knowledge is never a problem, right, Chan? Just more. Something is blocking our way. Oh! It's the demo end reached. I can hop on and get it with the devs. We can do that. So, welcome to the stream. Been playing your game this whole time. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're working on?
Yeah, hi everyone. Great to be here. I'm Eric. I'm the solo developer of the Greenening, which you just saw. And yeah, I've been in the games industry for like almost 10 years now. And a little more than 4 years of that time I was employed at a little indie studio here in Berlin, which is called Studio Fiskeln. I'm not sure if anyone knows them. They made some smaller indie games like point-and-click adventure, The Inner World. Maybe someone knows that. And I've been working on adventure platformer Minute of Islands, but they all, like, there were no real super hits among them. And unfortunately, they recently also had to close. Yeah, this industry is in a tough spot, as we all know. So yeah, but it was a great time. But at some point, it was just time for me to move on and do my own thing. I was a Unity programmer there, and yeah, I just wanted to do more. Like, I've been doing game jams for like more than 10 years now, and I really enjoy like all the aspects of game development, especially game design, and visuals maybe not so much. I'm really struggling with those. So yeah, I went solo, and then I worked on my first game, which was released almost 3 years ago. I think it was in April 2023. It's called Recollection. And yeah, it did respectably, but yeah, it has like, I think 70-ish reviews on Steam, but that's not enough to keep going on its own. So I'm mostly funding myself from freelancing. Yeah, so I'm doing half-time freelancing, half-time game dev. That's pretty much the cut. And yeah, I mean, I started game development like in my childhood because I was like a big fan of Nintendo. I grew up with an NES and SNES, and I already like designed some board games then, and then I went into RPG Maker for a couple of years, and then into Construct 2, and then to Unity and game jams and stuff like that. So it's been a long road for me, and yeah, so the Greenening is now my second commercial game as a solo dev.
Oh, that's fantastic. Like, I'm actually kind of interested. You said that you were a Unity developer, but this game, is this in Unity or is this in Godot?
No, this is Godot.
Okay.
I switched to Godot for this one because, like, the main reason was like the Unity runtime fee debacle which made me rethink my choice of engine.
Yep.
And also, I just
Made a
wanted
lot of
to
people
try
rethinking.
yeah. It was like a big wave, and yeah, I also just wanted to try out something new after so many years with Unity. Like I've worked for like 8 years with Unity, and like Godot, when switching to Godot, it just felt like a breath of fresh air. Like everything is starting up so quickly. It's just really nice, and the fact that it's open source is just great.
Yeah.
And it's great to work with. I know I love it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense completely. I'm very happy about Godot. We actually donated a lot to the Godot Foundation a while back because I love the idea. Like I grew up kind of like on Newgrounds, era, and being able to have like a tool like Flash that was free, where people could just make stuff in it. It was fantastic. And my hope is that Godot or any other technology becomes that again, is that we have like a very easy to use, easy to access something that is free so anybody can make games. And like Godot is great for that. And I think it's funny because I think it's like half of the games that we've shown in Indiecember almost are all in Godot. It's so common now. It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it totally makes sense for indie devs to choose Godot. And it's also like it's there, like it's come a long way, and yeah, it can compete with the bigger engines, I would say.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, like actually, like I think most people they connect Godot more like to 2D games, but this game, the Greenening, is actually 3D, just with an orthographic camera.
Fair.
And yeah. Works quite well, I
so,
must say.
What made you go that direction, 3D, in this way? Did you build that all in Blender too? That was the other thing too. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I can tell you about that. But yeah, the direction is mostly because I just can't draw, and I just enjoy the process.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I just enjoy the process of working in Blender and modeling way more than drawing stuff, which I don't have a talent for. Like it suits me better. And the way I'm doing it for the Greenening is actually not that much modeling. Like I'm trying to cut corners where possible. So most of the models in the game are from low poly asset packs, and they don't look low poly here, I hope. So I'm like putting them into Blender and modifying them a little bit and putting like 1 or 2 subdivisions on them so they look smooth and nice. And that's pretty much my workflow for most assets. Some of them I'm doing myself, but that's the minority, I would say. Yeah.
To me, they just feel, I guess the whole thing kind of feels cozy. It's very Zen-like, being able to unlock all the stuff, and you just kind of tend to your garden, build things out, and it just feels kind of nice. I think one of the things that I noticed right away that just feels good is you can hit R to shuffle in your garden, or like manually place it.
You can also click on things and then like on the flower, for example, and then modify it further. Like you can change the size and rotation and the model that is used and color and stuff like that. So yeah, this is something like I just love elements like these in games, like where players can get creative and just build their own thing. And it's just also a lot of fun building stuff like that. Yeah.
I had no idea that option existed. That's cool.
Okay,
that's actually really cool.
I must communicate this more.
Yeah, no, that's actually really awesome. Maybe if he said like a blurb of like, if you click on it, you could do all these things. Because like I had no idea you could change the size, the style of rock, the rotation. That's really cool. Yeah. I think my initial reaction was I tried to right click on it to spin it, and I was like, oh, I guess I can't spin it. But I guess you can. You just click on it and then you move it around. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's not super like toy-like, but just sliders. Maybe I think it's good enough.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, like pointing people towards these options would be a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the collection system in here as well. It's funny because the first feeling that I had was it's got that same kind of art style of like large blocky colors and kind of friendly looking characters as like Katamari Damacy. And I like that. I actually really enjoy those games quite a bit, and being able to play through this, it's a fun little cozy incremental game where you can do all this kind of stuff, and the art style feels nice. So I think even though you said like, oh, I can't do art or anything like this, like I think the art style direction that you're going feels really good to me at least. So
Yeah, I'm also pretty happy with it right now. Like it's been a long way to get there, but now I'm pretty satisfied. So I think it looks quite decent.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about game direction. Why an incremental game? What made you want to do that?
Yeah, so I've been like a fan slash addict in terms of idle games and incremental games for like a long time, ever since the days of Cookie Clicker, and maybe some people remember other games from this era, like Dark Room was one of my favorites, or Kitten's Game. Those were like a little bit more. Like a Dark Room was like a shorter idle game, which had like an ending, which I always found great, because a lot of idle games over the last year. No, since the inception of idle games. At first, the first few years, most of them I would say were like longer form idle games, where you just don't do a lot. And ever since like 1 year ago, when Notebuster and Dixion came out, that was like the start of a new wave of like shorter incremental games that have an ending. And we're seeing a lot. I think I saw it in chat that someone talked about this already. We're seeing a lot of these right now. So I'm actually kind of worried that people are getting sick of them until my game comes out. But yeah, it's fun to work on them. I think it's a cool niche. I think you can do a lot with it. Get creative with this genre. There's a lot of ground that can still be covered. You can put anything in there that you want, as long as it has an upgrade tree. So that allows for a lot of creative flexibility. And I just really enjoy the genre myself. So yeah, I started the development of the Greenening at the beginning of this year. And yeah, when there were not that many games of this kind coming out, but now it's like the floodgates are open, it seems. Yeah, so we'll see where this goes. I'm trying to distinguish my game as much as I can from like standard stuff that looks like Notebuster maybe. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I think my angle is like incremental game, but it's wholesome and cozy. So yeah.
I think that's something that's kind of interesting too, is games sort of enter this cyclical cycle, right? Where it's like, oh man, these are the types of games that are huge right now. Everybody's playing, Battle Royale, and then like maybe a year or so later, like I hate Battle Royales. They're everywhere, right? But I don't think it's the same for incremental games. I think the feeling of number go up doesn't ever really go away, because I've seen these games my whole life. You can go all the way back to like early days, Newgrounds, for things like Insane Aquarium, right? Even Cookie Clicker. Like, these don't really fall out of style. I think right now it's easier for people to make them, but I don't think they're going anywhere,
Yeah, I think it's still a good niche, even when there's a lot of games, because like if there's a lot of games that are just 3 hours long, then people will go to the next game probably. And yeah, they're definitely easier to make than your action RPG, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they would be. They're just way more accessible. Like, for sure, way more accessible. Like, it's funny because we have other ones that we've talked about, like Space Plan. Space Plan is also a very simplistic and, incremental game that I find to be really fascinating. When did that one come out? Last time I played that was 2022.
It's been a long time. I think 10 years maybe.
Yeah, it actually has. It came out in 2017. Oh, God, I'm old.
Yeah.
It's so old.
Yeah, this was one of the first ones also, like on Steam especially.
Yeah. I think that was kind of like the breakout moment where you started to see them start to enter Steam. And then there were a couple more that came out after that I've seen that have kind of really broken out. But the biggest incremental game I think anyone can think of is going to be Cookie Clicker. I think that was like the genre-defining thing that exploded.
The
But then
also,
you also
it's gone to Steam. It's gotten even bigger. Yeah.
And you even have like older ones. If you think back before that, you have text-based ones or browser-based ones like Candy Box or A Dark Room.
Candy Box 1 and 2 are some of my old favorites too. Yeah,
100%.
I love those games. Yeah.
And it's funny because like I don't think the genre has ever waned. I think it's always been a niche, but it's a niche that people really love and will continue to play forever. They just need to find the one that is the flavor that they enjoy, right? Because all the incremental games at their core is the same. Their number go up, find an objective, complete the objective. Yours is more Zen-like. There are ones that are more combat-like or more storyline-driven and everything like that. Yeah, you
Yeah.
wake to find yourself in a dark room, exactly. So I wouldn't worry too much in terms of that. I think that yours sets itself apart in a very interesting way, especially with the garden and the collection system. Do you want to talk a little bit about this, actually? Like, what led you to build this? What kind of features you have in it? What things you may have planned for this?
Yeah, so the garden is like the actual idle element of the game, because like it's pretty standard in idle games to have something that some numbers go up without you doing something, right? Even in games like Nodebuster, there is an element where you put one resource into like a tank and it automatically converts in an idle loop. And yeah, this is what I also wanted in my game. I like this, and I think it has like also like a chill feel to it. And a garden was like, yeah, it was the closest thought I had, and it's just fitting. And it all came together. Like I didn't originally have this like garden on a spaceship idea, but then I thought, okay, I have like this pink bubble. I need something. At first. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
You're totally
1
fine.
second.
Don't worry.
At first it was all just ashes. Then I thought like I need something in the middle, something to have a little bit of contrast. And then I put like just a pink blob in the middle, and I didn't even know what it was. And then I thought, what could it be? It could be a probe. And at first it didn't even have like a face. And I thought, yeah, I need some tutorial and narration anyway. Let's make it a character. Let's make it a cute character to support the vibes of the game. And this is how it all came together. And then where does this probe come from? Well, maybe it's a spaceship like orbiting the planet, and it's coming from some unknown alien race. I'm not talking about this in the game. Yeah. And they're just studying planets and checking what's up in the universe, maybe. So something like that. So the bigger backstory is like not that important.
Yeah. So with you building this, like and getting into this direction, how long is it taking to get to the point where you're at right now?
I started designing the game in like late last year, and then in January this year I started really. Like in January, I did some real crunching, because in February there was a big Steam Fest, the Steam Idler Fest, and I wanted to get into the Steam Festival because they always give a lot of visibility and wish lists. Mm-hmm. And yeah, then I worked so hard to get my Steam page out for this game, and then they rejected me. Because they were like looking for more idle games, not active play.
Who rejected you in this case?
The Steam. It's one of these Steam festivals, like the Steam Screen Festival.
So they wanted more idle gameplay, and yours was too active. Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
Like for these Steam, like there are Steam festivals that are organized by Steam themselves, like this Idler Fest. And there are some by third parties. You can see one on the page right here at the top, this Taskbar Treasure Week. This is going on right now with a lot of idle games. So as a small indie developer, you want to get into as many of these festivals as possible to increase the visibility for your game. And yeah, that's why I try to put out the Steam page as fast as possible. And after that, it slowed down a little bit more, because like I've become a father 2.5 years ago, and since then I want to have like a little bit of a balance between family and work. And I'm not working. It's very rare that I'm working 40 hours per week, because like I want to spend quality time with my son. So after that it slowed down a little bit, but yeah, with constantly like building content.
Balance. Can't believe it. Work-life balance for an indie dev? Impossible.
It's actually, yeah, it's tough sometimes, because like, yeah, it would be good to work more, definitely to get faster progress, but yeah. I mean,
but no, you've got regular
priorities,
in here,
right?
Yeah.
So my priorities are both, and that's why I balance the two.
Yeah. I do think you're doing a good job on this. I think that's good. And this is a rarity to see this. You have 17 reviews at 100% positive. almost always you'll have somebody that says something negative about the game. Getting 100% positive at 17 reviews means that you're hitting the exact target audience that you want, and those people like the kind of game that you're building. You know, I think at that point, all you really need to do is get more people that are interested in that Zen kind of incremental feel for it and reach a wider audience through visibility. What have you tried so far in terms of marketing?
Yeah, like I said, getting into as many Steam
Just
festivals as
those.
possible. I'm also like reaching out to streamers with my demo. Like I think I've contacted between 100 and 200 streamers so far, and like mostly YouTubers. And there've been like two or three that have a little bit of a wider reach that have played the demo so far, which got a lot of eyes on the project, which was nice. But I think most of them, they play the full versions.
Yeah.
But it's a good spot to be in that I've already reached out to pretty much everyone on YouTube who covers idle games, because I hope this already puts the game on their radar, and I'm definitely gonna reach out to them again when the full release comes. But yeah, like one of the bigger YouTubers that played my demo, he played it before I even reached out, because
Oh,
he
that's
already had it
fantastic.
on their radar. Because like they're following, there's this Reddit for incremental games, where they are shared and discussed, and I think some of these YouTubers, or maybe a lot of them, follow this Reddit also. So this is very nice. So marketing on Reddit also, and social media doesn't work so well for me. So like I'm putting out short form videos of the game, but none of it has gone viral yet. But
That's
I'm
okay.
gonna keep trying.
The way
Yeah.
that I always feel about that is like I've been streaming for about 8 years. My stuff blew up about a year and a half, 2 years ago at this point, which means it was 6 years of me just being invisible on the internet. The best thing you can do is just keep making things. Just keep putting videos up.
Yeah.
Eventually, someone's going to find it, and it might explode, or it might not. And you still have this big backlog of everything that you've done and everything you've worked on and showing off this stuff in the game. Just keep doing it, man. Because, like, this is cool, and I'm always down for more incremental games out there. I really am. I love incremental games. I like active and idle gameplay on those, too, and you've got both in this, which is pretty nice, and the music is really chill. So, like, I don't know, man. I think you're doing it right. I think it takes time, you know, and you just got to
Yeah.
keep building stuff because this is neat. I love the sprinkler system on that. It's ridiculous on his head. It's super funny. What made you design this blob character anyway? You said that you can't do art very well, so it was just kind of like a model that you got. But what
Well,
made you
it's
settle
actually
on the
just
blob?
a sphere, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a model. It's just a sphere. So and like the face, you wouldn't want to see the face in Godot. This is just like the
Flat.
eyes
Yeah.
when it's blinking. These are just like torus meshes which are like rotated a little bit. So the mouth is also like a torus mesh which is rotated to look just like a mouth. So it's yeah, it's very indie.
I mean, the thing that's hilarious about that is like no one would ever know, man. Like if you
Yeah.
there's so many games where if you just take the camera and you just tilt it a little bit, you're like, what the hell was that? In fact, I think there's like a whole trend on Twitter right now of like game dev is fake, here's why. And they just show objects in their games from like weird angles, and they're like there was one where it was like this cool looking tower going all the way up and it's like panning, and you turn it to the side and it's like 50 objects layered out. It's just like it's like completely
love
insane.
these
So
little tricks. You said while playing that it looks a little bit haunted, but if I'm doing a video on this, it's gonna be so haunted.
yeah. You should show the behind the scenes. It's a little bit haunted because I always think about like
yeah.
I guess I'm tuned to like if something is like overly cute, I'm like that's a demon. You know, like that's like immediately I'm like that's a demon. That's some like Zinch stuff from 40K, dude. There's no way. But no, your game is
not in
very
this case, but
yeah. Your game is very sweet. It is very like just positive Zen vibes for it. So, what do you guys think about it? What do you think, chat? Channel to move the camera in games like Wind Waker. Oh yeah, no, it's so weird being able to move the camera around. It's fun and cute. You love it. Good. Yeah, I always think that there's more room for idle games and get stuff out there. What do you think is the biggest thing you learned through creating this game so far?
Like the first game I made, Recollection, it was not very gameplay heavy. There wasn't like no balancing. It was just like a walking simulator. with like very casual puzzles. So what I'm learning the most is like about balancing a game and like making it fun and like making the progression satisfying. This is what I'm learning about the most. I would say, yeah.
And how do you balance something like this? Because I noticed that it's a lot of like, well, how do you create another challenge? The challenge is to clear the map. You make it so the map is harder to clear, right? So what is your approach to balancing a system like this?
Well, I haven't gotten that far with balancing yet. I just like rebalanced the demo a little bit yesterday to be a bit more interesting. But like for the full game, I'm currently at the state where I'm implementing all the mechanics I want to have in the game. I'm almost done with that. And the next step is to go through the game. I've laid out the complete game in the document and how I imagine it will play out. Like there's more mechanics coming in each level. Like for example, in the next area after this one, there's like water clusters and you can hit them and they're like bombs and they're going off and removing like a lot of ash. And then there's also like animals coming in who are like a bit of automation. There's other types of machines coming in, which you have to catch and stuff like that. And each level, I want to have like 1 or 2 new mechanics, and then the upgrades also go into new mechanics. Like you get new kinds of drops and stuff like that. And yeah, keeping this in a balance between like it gets more challenging because you have to remove more ash and you have like some more things to do. And then there's on the other side the upgrades, which make it better, easier, and yeah.
Yeah,
Does
no,
that
that's
even answer the question.
it does. I mean, you're talking about it the way that you kind of your thought process of going through it, you know.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
definitely tough. Like balancing is super tough, I think. But I don't think you have to be extremely on point in incremental games. Like it's okay when people can get some more upgrades than you intended, then they're a little bit faster. I think that's acceptable. You just have to provide, and that is one of my core principles, like a nice flow through the entire experience.
That's fair. Yeah. I did notice the game file size is actually quite small, it seems. So you've managed to fit this in 271 megs. People are going to be really happy about that. You'd be surprised at how big of a deal that is for a lot of people. Can you also ask questions? You can ask
I think
whatever
for
you
a Godot game, this is actually pretty big.
Is it
like,
really?
For like most incremental 2D games, they're like more about 100 megabytes. But yeah,
I think the thing is you're doing it in 3D though. You know, like that's why for me that's pretty awesome. I think that you're fitting it in a good file size for this. It's really not that bad.
Well, it's gonna grow a little bit larger still because there's gonna be more collectibles, which are like models that have a certain size. But otherwise, I think it's not gonna cross 500. Yeah, and there's also going to be more music coming in. Like music right now, you mentioned this, it's just public domain music that I'm using right now.
Really?
But for like it's just 2 tracks, like one, but lo-fi, right? It's running nicely in the background and you don't even notice. So, and it gives those chill vibes. For the full game, I have planned to compose the soundtrack myself, but I'm not 100% sure about this yet because it's quite the time investment and like getting the sound just right. Like I've composed the music for my first game and that was also a lot of time that went into this and the result is just alright. But people who are doing this like professionally and have been doing this for years, of course they can do it much better than I can. So sure. I have to think about how I will handle the soundtrack.
No, that makes sense completely. I think it's very difficult to flex in a direction of something that you haven't built before, right? Like I can't do music. That's why I have Stein. Like Stein does my music for me because there's no way. Like I tried it before and I was like, this sucks. I'm not doing this. You know, I'm not good at this. It's not fun for me, and others can do it better. So I completely understand for that.
I mean, I love making music. But just getting to the quality level that I need for this game is like a whole other question. Yeah,
that makes sense. So, what are you thinking? You're releasing in quarter 1. Actually, you already released. you already released on this, or is it? This is just.
It's just a demo. It's just a demo. Yeah, it says Q1, but it's probably gonna be more like April. Not 100% sure yet. Like everywhere I can put this, I always put spring 26. I think Steam only allows for quarters.
They allow for quarters, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so spring it's gonna be. Like in April, there's this nice festival, the Earth Appreciation Fest, which, funny enough, my first game Recollection 3 years ago, it's released in on April 17. And I just noticed after releasing this game that this Earth Appreciation Festival was running. And I contacted the organizers, hey, can you put my game in there? I just released and it's all about like appreciation for Earth and nature and stuff. And they put it in and it like gave my game a big boost, which was great.
Nice.
So it would be nice to have that again 3 years later for my second game. But we'll see, like festival organizers, they're flooded with applications these days. So nothing's certain.
Even with this, like we got 500 applications into Indiecember.
Yeah.
There's so many. I was like, and that was in like 6 days. So I was like, all right, we're going to cut this off. Stop. It's like way too many. Now we're going to do Indiecember too. So we're going to do it twice a year. And I think that'll be fun. You know, like have a bunch of people on and talk about stuff. I am interested to see where this goes when you launch it. Do you have an idea for a price point in mind?
Yes, probably $5. Okay. So that's pretty much the standard for smaller incremental games. So I guess I'll go with it too. And I'm aiming for like a total playtime of 3 hours. So I think $5 is appropriate. I mean, most people buy only on sale anyway, so it's gonna be like more between $3 and $4 what people pay. So yeah, that's what I have in mind. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, if it does well, I will think about like going maybe to other platforms. Like I released my first game also on the Epic Games Store, which was not a lot of work and brought in a little bit of money, but it's like 10% of Steam. So
Steam is something like it's some absurd amount. It's like 60 to 75% of digital games sold as Steam alone. Like it's insane. Steam is like the entire digital market, honestly. It's like that Switch. Definitely. Switch is the other one that's very big for that. Very surprising. Yeah,
I'm not thinking about consoles right now. Like it runs on the Steam Deck, that's good for me.
That's perfect. That's halfway there, man.
Like,
you know.
I mean, Switch is a whole other topic because like we did Switch ports at my old company, and you gotta optimize a lot for that. I'm not sure if it's still that much the case with Switch 2, but
Switch 2 it's different, but you still have to. They also still have all the restrictions for like color and visuals and UI and like everything that you've been through before. It's all the same for Switch 2.
Yeah, all these console certifications, they were quite the pain.
They're a huge pain, yes. Very much so.
Yeah.
Well, I think what you're building here is really cool. I'm interested in playing it on Steam Deck. Do you already have it approved on Steam Deck, or is that something that you?
No, getting approved on Steam Deck, like I think it's a queue, and I'm not sure if they're actually doing demos. Like my first game also is running on Steam Deck, but it's not verified because it's too small. So we'll see. I think it helps if some people play it on the Steam Deck and leave a review from the Steam Deck, maybe. I think reviews are sorted by Steam Deck and non-Steam Deck, if I know this correctly. But
they might be. When I went through the process, it took us 6 months. And the 6 months was them doing nothing for 6 months, and then it went into the next queue, and then it was done the next day.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a queue on their end, you know.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about it. Like maybe if you're popular enough, then you get pushed up the queue. I imagine.
Maybe.
But it's just nice to play it on the Steam Deck.
Yeah. It is nice to play it. And the thing is even if it doesn't have that marker on it saying that it works for it, you can even put an announcement saying, "Hey, it works on Steam Deck. We're waiting on Steam to approve it." You know, there's nothing wrong with it.
Definitely. I already made a post about this, but I'm gonna make more posts about this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, console regulations are never a problem. They do make the product better on that platform, 100%. Someone was talking about it in chat. Yeah, there's no real issue with that. It's mostly just like when you're a developer and you have to jump through all the hoops, they're kind of daunting at first because a lot of them are like, don't use this color ever. And you're like, okay, we won't do that. Or you have to have the layout look exactly like this. You can't show another controller style at all. You have to change your UI to make sure that it only shows, say, the Switch controller style, stuff like that. And it's very specific. And then you're like, okay, well,
like file access. I still remember like file access on the Switch. You only could do it like with a certain file size, if I remember correctly, and we had to like rewrite our save system. Not sure how it is on Switch too, like, but there's some things to go through, and there's also like a lot of studios that do all the porting for you if you can afford them.
Yes, that's true. It's very expensive sometimes.
I just wanted to tell you about how long this idea for the greening has been going on in my mind, because like I'm not sure if you can like if you do like browser stuff, but if you Google for the greenening itch, then you can see a 9-year-old prototype of the game that I made for a game jam, and it's still made in Construct 2. And like, that's how long this game idea has been floating around in my head. And I've made some prototypes over the years with like different concepts, and like one of them, I replayed this yesterday. It's basic, but it's also an incremental game, so...
That's funny. So each time the plant grows up, it actually gives you seeds.
Yeah, watch out for the golden seeds. These are pretty much the only ones worth clicking. And I just noticed that clicking on these, it's like, it has a terribly small hitbox.
Oh, the green one was bad. It's an exploding one.
Yeah, so this is like the
Whoa.
first time I have made the greenening, and now I'm making it proper. So and during all these years, I've made like a couple of prototypes and trying to fit this idea into some gameplay that I liked, and I finally come out with something that I'm satisfied with.
This is cool though, man. Like, so this was your first prototype, like early days.
Yeah, of this game, yeah.
I think I accidentally just blew up a golden one. I mean, this is great. There's nothing wrong with this at all. I think it's funny because every game starts somewhere, and like this has turned into a completely different game today.
Yeah.
You know, that's fantastic. Yeah. It's had some upgrades, you know. Yeah, the prototype even had a pink creature. That's true. Look at him, but he's weird.
Yeah, right. It's also, oh my god. Oh yeah, but this is like, you have to feed this one seeds, and at first it gives you stuff like upgrades like the rain. At first it's friendly, but it will turn on you.
And he waters things just like the current pink thing. I'm onto it. I can see it.
There's some aspects in there, yeah, from this very early prototype.
I love that you have, like, seeds you're not supposed to touch. Just makes me laugh. No, this is... I mean, even this is just, like, compelling, you know, incremental video game.
Yeah.
You're greening all the way towards the pink guy. Yeah, no, that's actually quite funny, and now you have this game here, which is what you've built it all into years later. That's cool. That's a really cool story, man. I always like showing off, like, early days stuff, the things that I work on, because... it sort of, I guess, sets the tone for people where they're like, oh, wait a minute. I can go make something? I can make that early day thing that you made. It's like, yeah, you could. You could do that. You'd sit down and try to make something. It's why it's the same reason we run the game jams, man. Exact same reason. So we can get people to want to engage with that and try to be creative.
Game jams are definitely the way to go if you're like just getting started with game dev. It's the best thing. So much fun. Yeah.
Our next one is in
Unfortunately,
January.
I've been a game jam addict. I've done like so many Ludum Dares in my time, but unfortunately, it's not really possible anymore. Like to block a whole weekend, or it's become tough with being a father. But that's fine. I've moved on. It's okay. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We actually run 2 game jams a year. The next one's going to be in January, and then we're going to do another one in July. This will be the 18th one this time around. So go sign up. Do it. Because they're a lot of fun, man. They're super big amount of fun. And a lot of games that go into that are like... it's funny because people get 2 weeks to make something. And at the end of that 2 weeks, there's a lot of games that are like, I would just buy this on Steam right now. Like, they're awesome. Like, some of the games that come out of it are just like, these are awesome as hell.
Yeah,
Actually,
like in 2
amazing.
weeks, if you like work full time on something, you can make something incredible.
We have a team limit size of 5, but people will put together like a 5-person team and just bang out some of the coolest looking games. Like Shot Guana. You remember Shot Guana, guys? How many of you guys played that one? This was one of our winners, and it's like a Pokemon style video game where you have an iguana with a shotgun for a head. It's just like super weird, right? Like just weird games, and that's what I love game jams about, man. And like I'm glad that you support that kind of stuff, because I think it is the best place to grow your skills is in game jams, because you have an opportunity to make something weird and fast, and that's very enjoyable, you know.
Yeah,
But
at least up until a certain point. Like I think from a certain point of a skill, if you're at a certain skill level, then it makes more sense to do it long term, because you already know how to do it fast. But yeah, it's always fun, and you always learn something. Like even if you've done, like I've done 30 game jams in my time, or more than 30. And there's still stuff to learn in this short amount of time, especially considering scope and stuff like that. I mean, the Greenening, I scoped this one to actually be developed within half a year, and as it usually goes, now it's taking a little bit more than a year. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I think that's one wisdom of game dev. Always double your estimate.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So, with all of this in mind, with you being so close to launch, what would you say to a person who's just starting out, someone who wants to be a game developer? They're kind of afraid. We already talked about, game jams as being a route for that, but there's any other wisdom that you can pass on to the next generation of devs, man?
Yeah, I would say start small, watch maybe one bigger tutorial or tutorial series, but don't watch too many tutorials at first, like just one that is like comprehensive, and then start building something small. Maybe in a game jam, maybe before the game jam, try rebuilding something that you already know, something really, really small. And yeah, I think a lot of people like watch maybe too many tutorials. I've been guilty of this too, but not anymore. So I think there's this term called tutorial hell. Don't get stuck in there. Just make stuff. And try to make something that is like a complete package. It doesn't have to look great. It just has to be like the full package. For 5 minutes maybe. 5-minute game, full package is, I think, something good to aim for, and game jams are great for that. No, I super agree. Just make something small, make something fast, make something fun, and get it out there, and get people to play it. Our first game like that was an arcade shooter. It's a fun game, and we made it in 24 days. It's fast, it was from like, hey, let's make this game, to it's on Steam, was 24 days, and it was that's kind of a whirlwind of ridiculousness, super fun to do. Yeah, I used to I think my first games that I published were on Congregate. Yeah, back in the day I also did some Flash games, but they were also like really small arcadey games. It was great to get the feet wet.
No, that makes sense. But no, I really do like what you're doing here, and I think that this is a very cool system. It's a cool mechanic. It's not one that I've seen before in incremental games, and I wish you the best of luck on this, man. Do you have anything that you want to give to the community to help follow you out on the internet? The wilds.
Yeah. I'm pretty much on every platform that you know of, except Twitch.
You should be on Twitch.
Just search for Erkberg. That's like my artist name.
How do you spell that?
ERKBERG. But you can just like wishlisting the game on Steam is of course greatly appreciated. And on Steam you have this like sidebar where it has like all the social links and stuff like that. And yeah, if you like the demo, I appreciate reviews very much. It also helps the algorithm a little bit. And I also recently opened my own Discord, which is extremely quiet right now. I just have like 5 friends over there and there's nothing going on. So if you wanna, it's just like waiting for people. So if you're interested in the game or my future games, like you can join there and maybe take part in a future playtest. And also just like it's the best place to keep up with like the game development, because social media you don't see all the things that people put out.
Yeah, you never see anything. You just see
Everything
it's
is
buried.
gone so fast.
But yeah, I think your game is cool, and I wish you a lot of luck, man. I want to thank you for coming
I
on.
already see people coming into my Discord.
Yeah,
Right,
goblins.
like right now. Okay,
Good.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a fun
Yeah,
time in there.
thank you so much for having me. This was really great. Yeah, thanks to everyone watching this, and yeah, I didn't read the chat. I will like check it out like when the video goes on YouTube and on Twitch in the aftermath, because like reading chat and talking to you, that's not something I can do in parallel.
Totally fair. Totally.
um,
I screw it up all the time, too. Don't worry about it.
the Discord just more than doubled up. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Okay, yeah, yeah, it was super great watching you play and talking to you. Yeah, wish you all the best for the rest of the day and for the rest of December. This is a great thing you're doing right here for indie developers.
Aw, you're awesome. And I hope your game succeeds. And even if in the off chance that it doesn't, I hope you keep creating games after that, because the world needs more incrementals, and I love the Zen style that you have here. So thank you very much.
I definitely will. No worries. Okay, thank you so much.
I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.